Podcast, yet another episode on its way. I'm joined here by Joe,
Hey.
Christian, and a special guest today. You want to introduce yourself?
Yep, my name's Lewis.
Did you
How
forget
y'all
his name
doing?
already?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
man.
a perfect way to start.
Well,
Better
first
names.
veto Mike's back already.
Yeah.
There you go, Mike Spike in the first
30 seconds. Yeah.
20 seconds. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got longtime friend of ours, Lewis, in the house today. We're excited about that. And
First time ever podcasting. Pretty exciting.
That's cool.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah, some fun shit.
So I've heard a lot about it, you know.
I mean,
Seen some videos on it.
everybody's always nervous about it, but you seem to be sitting right in. All you do is just get comfortable.
I have coffee in a chair, so
That's true.
Yeah, we're not
That's
making
You're using a
basically how
bar
you
chair as
podcast.
a
We're not making you
coffee
sit on the floor. There's going to be no local beer today because I forgot to go out and buy one. And that's on me. But if I were to pick one, it'd probably be a Reuben's Raspberry Sour Beer.
You like that one?
I love it.
Huh.
I was thinking of like if I was gonna bring a local beer, it would be catered to Mount Vernon area, and I was gonna grab Boundary Bay, which is actually some good stuff.
And that's
I like
from
Boundary Bay.
Boundary Bay's from Mount Vernon.
It's not exactly Mount Vernon, but it's like
Close
it's
to.
up there somewhere. I don't know exactly where. I'm not quite in tune with the location as much as some other folks are,
Right.
but it flies off the fucking shelf.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, speaking of shelves, Lewis originated in a grocery store along with the rest of us.
Really?
We've all seemed to come from grocery store backgrounds.
Oh, dude.
Part of the origin story.
The origin story.
My first job was courtesy clerk, Safeway.
Oh. I didn't know Safeway had courtesy clerks.
They moved me up to liquor when I turned 18 and when they put the liquor in the stores. They were like, "Yep, we'll send the 18-year-old high schooler to stock all that stuff because he's gonna have a lot of fun with it."
That was a
Oh,
bad
jeez.
move.
Oh,
I remember
jeez.
one day, this is when I lived up in Edmonds, and Lewis comes roaring up because he had his Grand Marquis straight piped. So it's just, I mean, you can hear him coming from 3 blocks away. So my dad knows he's coming. I know he's coming.
Who
Then
needs
Lewis-
mufflers? The whole
dogs.
neighborhood's going to wake up.
Then Lewis shows up, and yeah, this is like after one of his shifts, so it's like 9:00 p.m. just roaring through, and then all of a sudden he pulls into the driveway, and then he backs up to the garage, and he's like, "Yo, I need a hand really quick." So I go out there, and he pops his trunk, and there's a fucking whole case of Jack Daniel's honey.
Yeah, they put me in charge of taking the cases of liquor off the pallets, which was a terrible idea because it was right next to the garbage door.
Accidents
And
happen.
then they were supposed to be like, "Yeah, you should take the garbage out
Accidents
as part of your
happen.
shift." And I was like, "This is just stupid."
It fell off the back of the truck, by which I mean I took it off the back of a truck.
It
Yeah,
fell
no.
off, went down the garbage chute and into the back of my trunk.
Yeah, no. In high
Accidents
school,
happen.
took it to
I don't know
Kegs
what happened.
took it to Kegs.
Yeah.
And I'd walk around and be like, "Anybody Jack Daniel's honey, $20," and that shit was gone.
Oh, you're entrepreneur.
We're actually really
Gone.
close. We're actually really close to a big famous keg spot, and that's Magnuson Park.
Oh, the Rock Spot.
Yeah, I mean I've been there maybe once or twice, and every time I've gotten there, and this was I obviously
some
don't go
shit
there
goes
anymore
down.
because I'm not fucking 16. But back
You
when
were
back
allowed
when
to
we
go to
were-
Magnuson Park as an adult.
What's that?
No. You're allowed to go to Magnuson Park as an adult.
Yeah, but you're not allowed to go to a keg as an.
You know who used to party at Magnuson Park? Chris Cornell.
Oh.
That's why his band is called Soundgarden. Because they used to sneak onto the Soundgarden on the
No
campus
shit. Are you
there.
serious?
I'm dead serious.
That is new information to me.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. You heard the Soundgarden over there,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
The
Yeah.
stupid fucking whistles, yeah. Because
We
him and his
bonfire-
friends
we
used to
bonfire, like,
they used to
pretty
hop the
close
fence
to
and go hang out
we have
there
a
and
good
smoke weed.
like little bunker we go and have some fires in the middle of the night, and it's great because no one's gonna walk up to a bunch of guys with a fire in the middle of a park.
Yeah, especially when they're all intoxicated and yelling and screaming.
I'm still
Listening
I'm still surprised we haven't gotten fucked with by any parks people. I mean, like I've spent so many nights in Magnuson Park.
I think it's just because we don't park our car anywhere that's like
Well, yeah, we just walk
in
in.
their fucking business. Because I feel like if you drive in there and you lock yourself in, then yeah, you're gonna have to deal with some
I
park
think the
folk.
Seattle PD have some more stuff to deal with than some drunk high school kid in their park after
Oh, I
hours.
don't. Yeah, I don't think they're really worried about that.
Yeah.
Do you
And
know
then now that
the-
we're not in high school and we're well into our 20s, we just go there, have fires at nighttime, and just like get annihilated until 3 or 4 in the morning.
You know that the I found some information about the Seattle PD, which actually does not surprise me. They're losing more officers every year. Like they're just quitting. They're fed up with it. Then they can hire back.
Oh, absolutely.
Does
I
that
don't
make
fucking-
sense?
I don't
Like the
doubt
last
that by
the
one
last
second.
5 years, the Seattle PD has just been like, "Oh, come work for us, come work for us," but nobody. They can't hire people, and they're like people are quitting daily,
Here
which
comes
is a
my-
big deal.
Here comes my hating Seattle moment of,
Oh,
the, of
boy.
the week. Was going back to what you were saying about that with the police quitting and shit. It's true, man, because the city council has literally like eliminated these cops from doing their job. Like they're not allowed to do their fucking job. If they have homeless people who are acting the fool and burning shit, which they're always doing, I think a huge fire broke out by LA Fitness on Lake City like 2 weeks ago because it was just like 12 tents really huddled close together and they had a barbecue going on in the middle of it and they burned everything down. And the cops aren't allowed to do anything about it. They're not allowed
I mean,
to.
that's just not true. The Seattle City Council is using the police and public safety as a reason to break up all the homeless encampments right now.
how
Yeah.
many encampments have been broken up?
A
Like, if you go-
lot.
if
They
you go
don't.
down-
The problem is they don't. The
they're
homeless
not allowed
problem,
to. They're not allowed to arrest these
right,
guys.
because being homeless isn't a crime.
Well-
but they break up the encampments and just set them loose, which is.
I
Really,
mean, I would
Which-
think that doing
yeah,
drugs
it doesn't solve the issue because they just find a new place to live.
yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
They get
I
taken
know.
downtown. They get a shower and a fucking. They
Fresh,
get
hot
released
cup
right
of
back
Joe.
out into the street. And a lot of these guys, they're not just hobos. You can tell the difference between a junkie and a hobo. A lot of these guys are junkies.
Yeah.
Justin
Well, it's the
Justin was homeless and he was a hobo. He wasn't a junkie. He was just a hobo.
I know.
He
No,
was
yeah,
living the life. He wasn't.
felt all
He
those
wasn't
things.
And
so much
honestly, I have no
on the
problem.
streets for
I have no
drugs and
problem
stuff.
with hobos. Like I'll talk to them. I'll fucking chit chat with them because they just need somebody to talk to because they're so loopy and they got shit to say. But it's these dudes that are walking around
Yeah.
and you can see all the scabs on
Oh,
their
I
fucking
know.
heads and
stand in the middle of the intersection
stand in the middle
by
of the road
by
yelling at themselves.
cracked
Oh,
out
dude,
Safeway
it's
on
doing this. What is it called? The dance.
Yeah.
It's like the stanky leg combined with like the South Side
Good old
Shuffle.
heroin
It's
dance. You
bad.
gotta love that. Where they're like swinging their arms
Oh,
like it's fucking
The
Thriller.
the Burning Man Free Spirit. that's what that dance is called because there's no.
But they did
cycle
a
to
survey
it.
for the police, and a lot of the police officers said that they were thinking about it and are going to quit their job because
Yeah.
they're not allowed to police the people.
Well, yeah, of course, but everyone is going to complain about oversight every time it happens. That doesn't mean it's wrong.
I mean, the way that I see it is if I break
Most
the
of
law
the-
and the police are there and they see it, like let's say I'm speeding and I get pulled over for it and I get a ticket, I'm not going to be like, well, fuck the police. You're a bitch. I'm like, no, I broke the law.
Yeah.
It's like,
I was
you
speeding.
got got.
You got got. You got. Yeah, it's bullshit when they hide on the freeway and shit and book you. But
Well,
you
now
broke the
Google
law.
tells you that they're doing that, though.
And you know damn
Speed trap
well
ahead, yeah.
Yeah. they
Oh,
give you
man.
the heads up on speed traps.
See, that's just crazy times we live in.
Yeah.
Except isn't there a law here in Washington that they can't hide? You have to be able to see.
I don't know.
the state
No,
troopers.
dude,
I
no.
feel like that's something.
That's
because
state troopers. What
That
they
feels
can
like one
do-
of those urban myths. Are you a cop? You legally have to tell me. Like, no, they don't. That's the whole fucking idea behind a sting operation. They
No.
still straight up lie to you.
So the like
Like,
this is Washington, like they have helicopters that they have, so they'll fly down us like I-90 or I-5, and they will tag a bunch of cars.
Oh, you
and
got
then,
pinched by
and
a
then,
drone.
Well, no. So yeah, so out in Sumner and Auburn, when it was like in the summertime, it was really beautiful out. My first ticket, I got pulled over, and I came around a corner. There was like 7 state troopers, and I instantly was pulled over. And I was like, well, what the hell? Like, that was not a lot of fun. And the cop walks up, how you doing? Do you know why I pulled you over? And I was like, I may have gone down the hill a little bit. That's maybe. And then he's like, yeah, well, our plane. And I was like, excuse me, sir, plane. And
I know.
my cousin's husband, he was ex-military in the Navy, and he worked on aircraft carriers, fixing jets and stuff like that. So he was really savvy about all the technology in the sky. He told me that they have a plane that flies in like a big 10-mile loop, and they will set up like 5 or 6 different speed traps. Knock my fucking microphone over. But
Hand motions are taking out the equipment over.
yeah, right. And then they'll set up a bunch of speed traps, and this plane would just tag people. And that plane got me twice, and that was the only reason they pulled me over. And it's $1 million to have the plane in the air for a day. And so when they have it up, they're getting
giving-
people.
They're
They're
getting
making
their
money.
They're getting their
But
money.
which makes sense because like if it's in the air, they got to get people. But isn't it just paying for the planes? So like wouldn't that just like even it out?
cancel it out.
I think
Yeah.
it was upstate New York where they had cameras set up on the freeway. It was literally just a speed camera. So they'd flash your license plate, and then a mile later they'd flash your license plate again. And if you got between those two cameras too fast, they mail you a ticket. So they're not even
that's
checking
not
how fast you're going in that exact moment. But
They just like get your average speed.
yeah,
I guess that makes sense.
if you go a mile in 45 seconds, that means you're going like 90. So there you go.
No, I think it was in California, and Vito and Claude might have to help me out on this one, but I think that California was one of the first places to bring in a stoplight camera that gets the cabin of your car, that gets like the inside of your car, that takes a picture of the person who's driving the car.
Oh yeah, no,
So-
I've heard about that.
But California,
Yeah, I've
people
seen those.
when they found out about that, people were running stoplights intentionally, and they would hold up signs for these cameras like "fuck you," or they'd give them the finger, or somebody in the passenger seat would moon the camera, and it got so bad and then people obviously wouldn't pay for their tickets.
Yeah.
They just said, "Well, this is back in the day when if you ran a red light and you got a ticket, you could be like, I wasn't driving." But they're like, well, here's your
here's
picture.
a picture of your
and
butt.
it's like, no, that's somebody else's ass. That's not me driving.
They
I
had
didn't
they
drive
had that
my
in,
car that
in
day.
Germany. If you're speeding, they will not take a picture of your car. They still will get a picture of your car on your license plate, but they will take a picture of who's driving it. And so a friend of mine from who I became friends with in Germany said he's like, yeah, I got like a little Volkswagen Fox thing, and he drives it like a Ferrari. It's a tiny car, but he drives it super fast. And he's like, oh yeah, if I'm driving, I know a speed camera. He literally will just cover his face and with something. And so when he goes through the speed camera,
It doesn't.
it's his car, but you can't tell it's him. And he says, yeah, like people will drive around with ski masks on and just fucking run every single light and just drive like crazy. And then
oh man.
and then
wasn't me.
they'll get
Somebody
all these
stole
tickets
my
and they'll be
car.
like, no, like that was not me. I was at work. Someone must have stolen my car. Like that's
He's
just
wearing a
bullshit.
Someone
ski
must have
mask.
stolen
He
my car for the
obviously
day.
Yeah, like
stole
he's
my car.
yeah, exactly. And
Sir,
like,
you're wearing the same shirt as this guy in the photo.
yeah.
So I
See the ski mask right
Is it
next
illegal
to you.
to buy shirts?
what if I,
I like
like the
to
shirt?
ski. I'm an amateur bank robber.
It's
That's
only
why I
a
have
social
so many
norm that
masks.
ski masks are bad. Okay.
So, I with those cameras in California, the ones that take a picture of the cabin, I saw this fucking thing like a while ago where this dude was like, I think it was like expensive dinner with the wife, and it was like $150. One ginormous fight with the wife, free. She's telling me that she's gonna go hang out with her friends, free, and then getting a getting a stoplight ticket.
She's giving
With-
head to some guy
giving
who's
some dude
driving.
a hand job, but she's looking right at the camera. And this picture's got the dude's dick, the guy driving, and the girl giving him a hand job. And he goes, seeing my wife give another dude a hand job on a speeding ticket, priceless.
That's fucked up still.
I just think that's... I don't know. That
What
seems
a
like,
way to find out. You're like, what's this? A bill? Open it. Fuck.
Oh, well, no, I guess I know who's getting the ticket.
Yeah.
and who's getting the ticket out of here.
So what would you do in that situation? Would you hold it and not tell her and just get everything filed correctly with a lawyer and then be like, here's this,
Boom.
here's this from the lawyer, and this is why, and just hand her the picture.
No nonsense. I like that.
Or you could hold on to the ticket and just have it build up, and then
Send it to collections.
Have it build up and then send it to like either her work or somewhere else.
Oh, geez.
That would be
Oh,
that can make
geez.
things
Tell me,
interesting.
yeah.
Oh yeah, today's brought to you by 2 fresh pots of coffee.
Oh, much
Fresh
much
pots.
appreciated on the coffee.
Oh, absolutely.
I woke up and my mom and dad were like, "You want some coffee?" And I was like, "Christian has pots, waiting
Parts
for
are
me."
pot of the Beefy Boys.
And I was
Yeah.
like, much appreciated. I am thankful for the gesture of coffee. 'Cause-
Even guests that say they don't want coffee drink coffee, except for Justin because
so
he has a
speaking of coffee, so one thing that
transitions.
is crazy. So like, do you guys drink a lot of coffee?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a lot of
Oh, yeah.
coffee.
Yeah.
So I mean, like I have 2 big cups a day. One in the morning that I still sip on, and then like one with lunch around like 12 to 3 ish. Some people, well, when I worked at the Hagen, that was the other grocery store when we were talking about that. So like Hagen is in the wind now, thank God, because Safeway bought it and it turned corporate, and that shit sucks to be working for a corporate system. But people come into Starbucks and they would get like their 7-shot venti milkshake frappuccino cupcake fucking thing.
Yeah.
And the same customers would come in at 6 a.m. They'd come in at like 8 a.m. They'd come in at like noon, and then come in at like 3 and 6. And they would drink like 5 of these like $7 drinks a day.
That's crazy.
A day. And so
yeah.
like try and do the math on that. Like,
For me, that would be just too much fucking sugar.
well,
Yeah.
exactly, right?
Like if it was all just black coffee, I could see myself doing that.
If it was, I mean, black coffee, Vito and I at work alone, we
Fucking
drink.
need, like,
60 ounces.
I like.
Yeah.
I stopped drinking. I mean, like today's an exception because we're having a little podcast. But like when I wake up, I don't drink like creamer in my coffee, and it's actually like I like it better without the creamer.
Creamer in the
same.
coffee is a
But-
weekend thing for
Yeah,
me.
it's
like,
it's not every time.
It's a never thing
For,
for
for
me.
me, it's actually a temperature thing. I actually only put it in when I need
Oh,
to
it
drink
cools it
But
down.
it cools it down, yeah.
It cools it down just enough.
Ice cubes for that.
Well, but
But that waters
I like
it
the
down,
taste
but we don't-
better
we don't
of
like to water
cream in the
stuff
coffee
down.
than I do of
Cream
the
waters it down
water.
too.
No, but it makes it
Well, no, it
sweeter.
creams it down.
so since we're on the topic of coffee, I had a controversial
No, yeah.
coffee
Oh my
moment on the
God.
show a couple weeks ago when
Yeah.
I said that
7-Eleven,
7-Eleven was
yeah.
the best coffee in the state of Washington.
Oh, dude, I got AM PM's coffee the other day.
So here's the thing. I fucking outdid myself, and I went to AMPM yesterday. You know, some of that.
I got that Snapchat,
some of
by
that
the way.
Toomgus, some of that too much good stuff. I got myself like a 24-ounce cup of coffee, and I got 2 different kinds because I was like, I'm gonna try their coffee out. So I had about 48 ounces of coffee in my car, and I'm like, so I have this cinnamon coffee that they brew, and then I have their regular fucking mild blend or whatever. So I was like, okay, let's try both of them. Loved them both, and immediately they were the best cup of coffee in the state of Washington. So AMPM takes the helms.
Shaking my head so hard.
No, dude,
AMPM
I got
takes the helms, and the reason why I say that is because I love 7-Eleven coffee beyond belief. The problem is
nobody fucking makes it.
nobody fills it up anymore.
It's always
dude.
it's just like you go in there and it's like, oh, it's 7 a.m. in the morning. I'm here for coffee, and it's
That was killing me.
many?
That was killing me. When I was working in irrigation systems, we would stop and, we were construction workers, so we ate like fucking garbage. So we'd stop at 7-Eleven in the morning for breakfast and for coffee. And it's 6:30 in the morning. You would think that people are trying to get coffee for work. I'd go up and they'd have 4 thermoses set up.
empty.
Pull the lever on
empty,
each one of them, they're all empty.
Empty.
So I'm like, dude, are you gonna make any coffee? And the guy's like, in a little bit. I was like, you're open.
This is
24
America.
hours a
What the
fucking
fuck?
day. What are you doing at,
Like, this
at
is-
5 a.m. when nobody's in
Coffee
here?
fuels this country.
But you know which one was really good? Was the one by the apartment. The one on 125th.
Top 10 7-Eleven.
Oh, I could give you. I'm
sure you could.
You give me like a week to write down a list. I'll give you a top
Dude,
10.
the one at
Must
Sandpoint
visit
Way.
7-Elevens in the state of Washington.
Fuck that 7-Eleven now, man. It sucks. I
Which
went
one?
the 7-Eleven on Sandpoint Way.
Oh, fuck that one. That
Oh,
one's,
dude,
that one's
I-
on top 10 worst 7-Elevens.
I went in there the
state of
other
Washington.
day and I walked up and I was like, "How's it going, man?" And the guy's like, didn't even say anything. He just looked at me, and I go up and I grabbed like a fucking tall boy and like something else, and I walk up on him thing, and he's like, "It's no work." I'm like, "Huh?" And he's like, "It's not working." I'm like, "What's not working?" Like, what do you mean? He's like, "Our systems are completely down. I can't take card or cash." And I was like,
So why are you open?
it's like 2 a.m. in the morning, or like at least like 1:30. I'm just trying to get home and get like a beer, and I'm like, why don't you have a sign on the door that says we're fucking closed?
System's down.
Like,
There's some
oh, it was
bullshit.
so bad.
You see, that's the problem.
But he was super rude about it, and I'm like, I strive for great customer service.
The
skills.
best 7-Eleven, without a doubt, is Green Lake. Right across the street from Duck Island and Beth's Cafe
Oh
is
yes,
the 7-Eleven on the corner.
those guys are so nice.
That one, now let me tell you this. That place had Rolling Rock. This was the first time we saw Rolling Rock for an 18 rack at $9.99. So, naturally, the boys, every fucking weekend, we'd go in there and we'd buy 3 18 racks of
Your
Rolling
dad
Rock.
used to come out of that place with garbage bags full of Ice
Ice
House.
House.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
that's what I was drinking that other night.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to steer us away from best and worst 7-Elevens. And
We'll come back to this. I don't want to give this a rest. Because
Back to our
That one on
actual
Green
core
Lake.
values. Now that we have 25 minutes of nonsense, I want to talk about Google Stadia.
Who?
This week's podcast is brought to you by the Beefy Boys. Just 3 cool dudes hanging out, talking about sports, video games, music, and whatever else they feel like. Find them at their website, www.beefyboys.com. Also, where you find your other podcasts, iTunes, Podbean, YouTube, all the regulars. The Beefy Boys, the best show on planet Earth.
Hi, I'm Renee,
And I'm Jess.
and we're the Deerfoot Sisters. Sorry to interrupt, but we have some breaking news.
We wanted to let you know that right now you're actually only listening to the second best podcast on planet Earth.
That's right. If you want to check out the world's best podcast, search Deerfeed on iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, all the regulars.
Dear Feed's a podcast featuring 2 sisters talking about life and all the kooky things it brings, like rhymes.
So when you're done listening to this episode, be sure to check out Deerfeed. Or you can just do it right now. Thanks!
Google
Stadia.
Have
It's a
you?
new gaming platform.
It's
okay.
like Netflix, but for video games.
Oh,
They announced
so
all
you
the
can,
details about it.
It's kind of like you can play one video game, get to a certain
I'm sorry.
amount,
Did
and
you
then
just lick the side of your cup?
A big drop of coffee was on its way down to the table. I needed to. I was like, fuck.
so if it's kind of like Netflix, it means you have like a plethora of games to choose from, and you kind of can just play them as much as you want, or
So
to a certain extent.
there will be free. It will be $10 eventually. It's like soft launching next year. You need to buy the $140. What do they call it? The Founders Pack.
Yeah.
And you'll only be able to play it on like a Pixel TV or a Pixel 3 or whatever. But eventually, the year after, you can play it on literally anything as long as you have an internet connection. And
We're
I was
talking
part of
about
their
2 years from
Yeah.
now. It's going to be full launch.
I was part of their technical test when it was called Project Stream. So I was playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey on like my 2005 or 2015 MacBook just over the internet, and it was perfect.
And you just plug
No
you just
latency
plug
loss.
that into the HDMI and right into your TV, and it.
Well, I tried to do that. That didn't work. So I was playing just on the screen. But I would
With
plug
your controller,
I would
though, right?
plug my controller right into the port. Yeah.
That's
That's
cool.
really interesting.
I'll
Yeah.
give it that. That's
It's
pretty cool.
pretty
Yeah.
cool.
But Tim
Super
did raise a good
interesting.
point about Google not really finishing their projects.
I mean,
that's
well,
what
they
he
all
was
do
talking
that.
about.
They all do that, though.
But here's another thing that I feel about Google Stadia is what other companies are doing this.
Exactly.
It's like
Yeah.
every
Well,
single one of
everybody,
them is
but-
probably doing this.
Microsoft is the one who's announced plans, and I'm sure others have them in the works,
Microsoft,
too.
Sony, all that shit. They're all doing it. And so Google's trying to
Yeah,
get
but
their...
none of them have Google money. I mean, maybe Microsoft, but the Xbox division doesn't have Google money. I mean,
That's true.
you know.
Google has like spooky money.
Yeah.
They've got
You know,
absurd.
they got like, I mean, like, it's just like you don't know where they got their money, kind of money.
So we've had these lights
That's
on.
And they're
for the
listening right now to
Ad
us.
sales
I'm gonna need you to
We
reach
said
that
Google a lot.
giraffe arm of yours and hit that light. Because that is just hitting me in the face.
Oh,
That's good.
That's
There
nice
you
and
go.
dark in here.
There you go. That's a
Back
lot better.
to darkness.
I can't see again. Yay.
Yeah. Oh,
You guys can't see
jeez.
it?
Oh,
Gingerly
jeez.
bright. We get
As far as
natural sunlight. You guys get light bulbs.
This room is just like
no,
dark
it's
in
because
general.
the door is so bright. It like I can't
Yeah.
like you're so backlit. You know, it's like
this
your face
room
is in shadow.
in the summertime.
Well, you
is-
guys look great.
You guys are glowing right now, dude.
Aw,
Glowing.
sweet. What's everybody playing right now? I finally finished Kingdom Hearts 2.
Oh,
Finally.
I love it.
So now
I'm
time
glad
to
that you
start.
asked that question. But I think before I answer
Kingdom
your
Hearts, something
question, I'm
else.
going to ask Lewis a core question.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Favorite
Oh,
video game of all
gosh.
time, pal?
Yeah, that's tough. So
I think I have an idea on what
I
you're
mean,
gonna say.
like,
I think I have an idea.
I personally, so the only console I have owned was like I never had a Game Boy until like I would travel with my family and they were like, we're gonna be on a fucking plane for 8 hours and you're a fucking tiny little kid, so here's a Game Boy. I'm like, cool. But then I had my brother got an Xbox 360 and we played the fuck out of Black Ops and Black Ops 2. That was some fun gaming. But the one that will take the cake for me,
Joe's shaking his head.
the one, I mean, like, I fell in love with how easy it was to kick the fuck out of people in Modern Warfare 2.
Yes.
Modern Warfare 2, as far as like first person shooters, that it was a perfect, just like it just gets worse and worse. And now if you go on there, every single lobby's fucked because everything's overpowered. It's fun, but
Let's just mod
it was
City. And
Oh,
nobody
yeah.
can find a lobby right now, but if you do find a lobby, it's like you get into a game and you pick like a M4 and you shoot it and it's just shooting nothing but grenades. And you're
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, this
It's like COD 4 was a lot of fun, but I never really played COD 4
Joe, I'm gonna
until
move my mic
after
just a
Modern
little
Warfare
bit,
2.
just
Modern
so
Warfare
that-
2.
just to give
And
you a-
so, but like I had a lot of hours on Modern Warfare 2, and it was just fun because if you get to a certain point and you just got in your groove, you just took over a whole game. And like they had the nukes, yeah, that was kind of cool, but
they had the chat rooms.
the
they had the fucking chat rooms.
yeah, Modern Warfare 2 was some shit.
I
But
love Modern Warfare 2.
up there though, that like I honestly in the future I would just like to own. I would love to get fucking what are that? I'm spacing out right now.
Is it a handheld?
A GameCube,
Oh, GameCube.
and I want Mario Kart, Super Smash Bros. Melee, because
Why don't you just get a Wii? It's the same thing. And get-
I don't like the controllers. I honestly
use the
I,
GameCube
you
controller.
can use the
I-
GameCube
Wii.
controller on the Wii.
Oh well,
and you can play all the
I
GameCube
guess
games
I'll
too.
have to find a Wii. Then.
Yeah, those are way more available than GameCubes are at this point.
You can tell how much I know about video games at this point
no.
too.
But you said 3 Call of Duty games.
But yeah, he and I used to play the shit.
We used to have a lot of fun on Black Ops 2. We used to take over fucking. We used
All
to play.
we would play Black Ops 2.
We'd sit with 40s and a hookah between us with 2 hoses
It'd be
and
fucking
play
6
all
hours, 7
night
hours.
long.
How
and
do you have 4 arms? Like, I don't-
Well, there's matchmakings
Oh,
and shit.
okay.
yeah, I know. It was
But-
like we would just like the hookah would be going. It would just chill for a little bit, and we'd play a game. And then if we die, we'd be like take a little puff and take a little sip of 40 and keep going. But good gaming sessions, a lot of fun.
Good games.
and it was
That's
always
a-
it was
it has
always a
good
lot
old
more
Edmonds
fun.
house.
Like I never ever really played with other people, except like I played with my like girlfriend for a minute there on Xbox Live in like high school, but that fell off really quick because she was just not. Just not having any of it, of anything.
So I don't know if you know.
She
this.
didn't know that there was multiple oceans. She thought that like
Oh.
the ocean was just the ocean, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to the Pacific coast, and she's like, what do you mean by that? And I was like, the Pacific Ocean. She's like, what do you mean Pacific Ocean? I was like, what do you mean Pacific Ocean? Like, and I was like, yeah, they got like the Atlantic, the South Pacific. Like, we can talk about this for like, you need to go pick up a book.
Oh no,
Oh boy.
the Pacific Ocean.
It was spooky.
That's good times. So I don't know if you know this, but I talked to these guys about it a little bit last week. They're rebooting the franchise of Modern Warfare.
Oh, really?
So I don't know if you knew that, but you played Modern Warfare 2. Do you remember the campaign mission where they give you the ability?
Oh,
to
the
skip
campaign
it,
was the yes, it's the
Where
campaign.
you
Modern
go-
Warfare
you-
2 and COD 4. Like
Yeah.
the campaign itself was also what made the game, and the Spec Ops. The Spec Ops were fun as shit.
Spec Ops were fun, and they're bringing those back. They're bringing those back in with the new one. There's going to be no battle royale mode. There's no season
Oh.
pass. There's none of that bullshit. It's just like a Modern Warfare.
Battle Royales are
reboot.
great.
Battle royals are great, but they have it in Black Ops 4. They don't need to bring it into. If they want to keep Black Ops 4 alive, they're gonna have to keep it in that game.
That's not what they want to do. They want you to stop playing last year's game and buy the new one. That's what they want you to do.
But I don't
Yeah.
think I don't think they're gonna focus on a battle royale mode where they're bringing in a big campaign. I feel like they're gonna be
also
more
think
focused
right
on
now
the
they're
campaign.
a big focus in the gaming industry is gaming services rather than like games.
Yeah, but
And
the Call of
so-
Duty model is still the annualized model. Like pay
But-
$60 every year and then stop playing the old one.
No, because Call of Duty 4 has every single type of monetization known to man.
I know.
So I don't think
Sports
they
games
want
are the
people to
same way,
stop
man.
playing
Like
it.
they want you to play it from the day it releases until the day the next one releases, and then
Oh,
they just
yeah.
completely
See,
stop supporting
That's
it.
why I never understood like fuck, what's the name of that? The NBA.
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 Hey,
Like,
I bought NBA 2K19 yesterday for $3. Shout out to Days of Play. There's an enormous PlayStation sale going on right now.
Well, see, but
it was $3.
yeah, that's the point though. Is like I've only ever seen more and more games come out, and everybody's hyped for those games, and I'm like, it's you're aren't you playing like most of the same players and playing the same teams? Like I feel like you'd have to, you would want to buy in the game a lot of change from the old one. Like if they made it better, if they made something like the graphics better,
Well, I
if
mean-
the controls were better, but stuff like that.
That's why everyone keeps hoping they'll go more for the service model, where like an MMO, you know, like WoW is still going on, but what WoW looks like now is nothing what it looks like 15 years ago because they update it for free. So that would be the ideal situation
Well,
where like
for $15
Madden
a month, but yeah.
or even if you just have like a Madden
$50 a month
subscription,
free.
right? So it's like I don't know, say $5 a month, and they continue to update the platform instead of having to buy something brand new for $60 every year. But they'll never do that because EA makes like half of their fucking revenue on the Madden release.
Well,
every
no,
year. It's
because
absurd.
like all they have to do is relabel the new game
Oh,
as
Madden is-
expansions.
yeah.
or as
Madden's
like we were
And they
talking
can
about.
keep up all the live services. and
Like we
just
were
have
talking
them
about
be
with Madden this
expansions.
morning, where they take features out every time they switch
Yeah,
generations
that was,
and then bring them back
yeah.
in like it's something new.
Yeah, so it's funny that you mentioned that because I was watching their platform this morning and the dude's like, well, we're going to talk about 5 new things that Madden 20 is bringing into the Madden world. And right before he even started saying them, I was watching this with Haley, so I go, Haley, he's going to say shit that was in the game 10 years ago and they're going to bring it back like it's brand new. And right off the bat, every 5 things he brought in was in the game in 2006. He goes,
They bring
you
back
can-"
the quarterback vision cones, which was the dumbest Madden feature ever.
And they have one that's like a face of the franchise, which is like what everybody was excited for. Because back when Madden didn't take things out to bring it into the next 10 years later, they actually had everything in there. And face of the franchise was a mode that you could pick whatever player position that you desire. You know, obviously not anything that they're not going to let you play a fucking
Kicker.
kicker. They're not going to let you play an O lineman, obviously.
Why not? I really want to just block.
But you could pick, running
Go
back,
for, like, a tiny
quarterback,
screen
wide
pass.
receiver, tight end, and then on defense you can go like nose tackle, defensive end, middle linebacker, left and right outside linebacker, and then the safeties, the backfield, and the corners. The face of the franchise now in Madden 20 is you get a quarterback, you build a quarterback, you pick, I think it's 1 out of 8 colleges
Archetype. Oh,
that they have the rights to, and you play the national championship game, and you get drafted based upon the performance that you have in the national championship,
okay.
which we saw this back in 2006.
And NBA 2K has been doing this for years.
And NBA 2K has been doing this for
In
years.
fact, you play high school games and then college games, and then you get drafted. But
I didn't know that. That's nuts. But anyway,
That's how it goes, though.
but they took out every
Yeah.
position, and they just made it, you pick a quarterback. I'm like, what if I don't want to fucking play the game as a quarterback? It's too easy. Madden's too easy if you play a game as a quarterback. You win every game by 70 points.
I mean, I always had more fun as a defensive player.
Me
in
too.
That mode, but
Like
yes.
playing as something challenging, like a
They
middle
don't let you be a
linebacker.
defensive player now. You just are strictly a quarterback.
You can on like a creative player mode, but not
not for
on
this,
not
like-
on face of the franchise. So you don't get to play like
Seriously?
no, you only get a
I'm sure
quarterback.
they'll
You're
introduce
only
that
the
feature
quarterback.
next year.
They'll introduce
and
the feature,
act like
like,
it's
2
brand new
years down the
again.
road,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's stupid. It is E3 right now, by the way. But
That doesn't
by the
make
time
any
this
sense.
episode
So-
comes out, all our video game
So you
news will
like
be
you just would go on
outdated.
and like you're strictly supposed to be the quarterback, so you can't like, oh, I want to go and be a wide receiver and catch passes or
Not
not
in
catch
that
Not in
passes.
this
particular
game
mode.
mode.
That wow.
Yeah, you can't play the wide receiver in the college game and then get drafted as a wide receiver. You have to play as a quarterback. You have to get drafted as a
I
quarterback.
feel like
and
that
you
sets
play.
the game back a little bit because if you had the options to be like, what if you wanted to be a defensive end?
I mean,
or
you
a-
still can,
a
just
no-
not in
you
that
can,
stuff like
you
that
can,
mode.
You can, but not in this mode. This mode's like a strictly quarterbacks only mode because they're taking out long shot.
What?
and
That
they're
was going to be my
replacing it-
ask. What happened? What's the story of Colt, whatever his name was, and Devin something or other?
So, I believe they're taking out long shot because this seems to be replacing it as a sense of you start from college and you play into the pros, whatever. I think that's what it is, and they're just replacing it with that. But there's a couple new features in there, like scenario. I think it was called like scenario. Some rather. I wasn't paying.
they had those in the fucking 90s, though.
They give you so it's like if you fuck up in a game, Madden never really does anything if you fuck up in a game. If you go out there and you throw 4 interceptions, nothing happens. You just go to the next week and that's it. You know. But in this game, if you go out there and you're the star like quarterback of a franchise or you're the middle linebacker of the franchise and you miss every tackle in a game, coach is going to be pissed. Right? So in this game, they have like every week by week, they have scenarios that if you did good, it pays off and something happens. But if you fuck up, the coaches like send you text messages and they're like, "What are you gonna do?" And like I said, this is something that was
I was gonna say,
done in the
this
game a
isn't
long
new.
time ago. But all it's replaced with now is instead of it just
New
being
and
regular
improved.
regular dialogue, it's between like Apple messages. So that's like the big update. Other than that, I got a Game Pass,
Oh.
and God, I
So
love
what have you been playing on Game Pass?
So I downloaded Wolfenstein 1 and 2. So I'm waiting on those ones to finish.
The new ones,
Yeah,
like the
the
new Colossus.
the
Those are fun.
reboots.
Those games are fun.
So I'm waiting on those ones to download, and I'm going to play both of them. And so the one games that I did have downloaded were Just Cause 4,
Okay.
State of Decay 2, and Crackdown 3.
Okay. So
So I
two of those
started
are
off with
nonsense playgrounds. The other one's like a fucking zombie survival sim.
yeah.
So
So I started off with State
that's
of
for
Decay
my sister
2.
because I know literally everything about every video game ever.
State of Decay 2, when I first started it, I was like, all right, I think I'm going to enjoy this game.
That does not feel like a Christian game to me at all.
I'm like, this seems like a different style from the first one. I'm getting ready. I'm like, sweet, this is going to be nice. It's going to be a different style from game 1. And I played the fuck out of State of Decay 1.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
That so isn't your style.
I played
though.
it
It's
so
like-
much.
That's such like that's like a
What type of game is
it's
it?
like
it's a zombie
systems
survival.
driven like
Oh, okay. So it's kind of
it's
like
like
you're,
The Sims plus zombies
Yeah,
basically.
Sims, rated M Sims
Yeah.
that has like a zombie apocalypse scenario. So you got to go out and you have to scrap for food and you have to
is that the
search
one
buildings.
that you have to be back at nighttime?
No,
No, that's
Dying
the
Light.
Dying Light.
Dying Light. That was
And that's a terrific game too.
that game was fucking.
No, this is
creepy.
much more about like managing
It's
your
all about
survivors,
survival.
like
Yeah.
food levels, and like, can I take in more people? Oh
Medicine,
no, now everyone's
food.
mad at me
Oh,
because I
so
made
it's
a bad
like
decision.
it's like you're trying to
It's
build
like a
little
management
colony
sim.
You build
It's
it,
big- yeah,
you build
exactly.
like a.
and then keep it alive. It's Ant Farm, but on a bigger scale.
Yes.
So there's permadeath, which is one thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you spend time grinding and building up this character, and you crash into a tree, and you get lodged between the front door and the tree, and a swarm of zombies comes, and your character gets permadeath.
Well, okay, yes, there are bugs.
Because you get glitched out and you get killed by that bullshit. Which, frustrating. Very, very fucking frustrating. But, so, I was playing this game, and I played it for like about 4 hours. And, I mean, as you guys know, I haven't had that much time to play video games in the recent...
Yes, I know. We're still waiting for you to
For
finish
Red Dead.
Red Dead.
Finish Red Dead.
Red
Holy
Dead.
shit.
Connor commented on the page and said...
You're never fucking finishing Red Dead. I saw.
You're never gonna finish Red Dead.
He was like, just finish it up already. I was like, it's probably not going to happen. it ages like a fine wine for me. I'm getting around to it, but you have to ride around on a horse. That takes time for me. It takes a lot of time.
It is. Yes, the movement.
It's a big
deliberately
video game,
paced
I
game.
guess.
Yes,
It's
we
very,
talked
very
about
slow
that.
paced, which is not, I don't have no problem with
On
that.
purpose. It's on purpose.
But I'm slow paced to beat it.
I remember
Because I'm playing games where I can just run around and shoot people. For
Yes, your old mindless.
What's
Yes.
the? I watched my buddy play Fallout.
Which one
I think it was like 3.
was it in DC?
No,
Boston.
I don't know.
Fallout 3 was one of the best.
Fallout,
games
but I
of
mean,
all time.
I watched him. I had never heard of this game before, and this was like when it first came out. He was like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna play this for a bit." I'm like, "Yeah, I'll watch you play this," and he's like, "Oh, perfect, sounds good." 5 hours later, and he had like walked around. He gotten fucking killed. He'd walked. He's like, "Yeah, I got to go over here," and I'm like, "Oh, okay. How are you gonna get there?" He's like, "I'm gonna walk." And in the game, it takes like 20 fucking minutes for you to get
It
across
takes
there,
a
and I'm
lot
like,
of time.
"Ooh,
And then you're also
man."
getting-
Assuming he
like-
doesn't get distracted by anything on the way.
You're also
Yeah,
getting
no,
attacked.
seriously,
Purpose.
like
Yeah. You're getting
Your
attacked, you're
feral
getting
ghouls
distracted.
and your fucking death claws and shit.
You got your
some random
bobbleheads.
fucking guys in
I love
suits
the
coming out of
Fallout.
nowhere.
Fallout franchise to me is just incredible.
I like
Except
the.
for
I think the
70
game itself
dicks.
has got a really good idea going, where it's like you're just out in the sticks, and you kind of got to fend for yourself.
About surviving.
Yeah. So the one thing I'll say to wrap up State of Decay 2, I played it for like 3 or 4 hours until I realized it's just part 1 all over again. And then I was like, thank God I didn't spend $60 on this.
You're surprised the sequel was a lot like the game that it's a sequel to?
It was the exact same game.
Just with
Which-
deeper systems and
Which
shit. Yeah, I know.
they fucking sat there and said that this is a whole new game. It's everything's... No. It's the same fucking game. It's just a new map.
Huh.
Which, I get it. There are games that I play that are all reskinned.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, no shit.
Ugh.
Like
But-
every single Black
Call
Ops
of Duty,
game.
yeah.
Hey, those games aren't reskins. They're just Call of Duty games.
Well, now-
I'm talking like Far Cry, where it's the same map, just reskinned.
That's true. Hey,
So-
New Dawn was fun.
New Dawn does look fun, but I'll give State of Decay this game. If you have the time and the patience to deal with it, it's very needy. The game is a lot more needy than the first one. If you leave your house immediately, somebody from your commune is
it's
like,
tougher, huh?
"I'm depressed," and it's like, "Well, what the fuck are you gonna do about it? Leave." I'm out here trying to find food. You're laying in bed all fucking day while I'm searching these little zombie holes. If you're so depressed, leave.
While we're talking
So
about...
I had to euthanize a commune member
Oh,
because they got blood plague or something, and they were like minutes
you don't
away
wanna
from dying.
Spread that. Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I have 2 options: cure her or euthanize her. And I was like, I can cure her. So I made a vaccine, and it disappeared. And I was like, that's not good.
Was
Like
it meant to be?
glitched out, or
And she had like 30 seconds until she turned into a fucking zombie. So
Oh,
I was like,
jeez.
uh-oh. So I just slaughtered her right in the middle of camp. My whole
how
commune.
did that do for morale?
Not good.
Yeah. See,
The whole commune was depressed, and I was like, this is not good.
see this
then-
is like does not
I
sound
s-
like a fucking Christian game.
I
to me.
switched
That's what I'm
characters,
saying.
and the character that I switched to had the vaccine in his pocket.
Ah,
And
whoops.
I was like, oh, oops.
Oops.
That'll do it. She's gone.
That's,
Her
that's
death.
like a scene out of Walking Dead. Like, oh yeah, we had
This
to kill her.
game is
right
Walking
here.
Dead.
Oh well, shit.
It's more of a human drama
maybe like a
than
little
it is
more
a fucking
comical.
zombie drama.
Zombie drama.
But I'll say this: it's fun. It's a fun game. I'm not gonna talk shit about it. It's a
I
fun
was
game.
always interested in it, but it's an Xbox exclusive, so I'm never gonna play it. Let's be honest.
Game
I got
Pass,
too
baby.
many games to play.
And then Crackdown 3, obviously fun game. You jump on buildings, you
It's
shoot.
just superhero nonsense.
Your character is Terry Crews, so obviously you're getting a lot of comedic value out of your main character, and you're just jumping around collecting orbs and shit and building your strength. It's a fun game. Didn't play it too much. Just Cause 4, grappling hook, pulling helicopters down with your
I
grappling
feel like
hook.
I was never creative enough for Just Cause. Like you see those videos of like I put a balloon on a tank and now I have a balloon tank. Like okay, like
Yeah, I thought
all I
that
ever
was
did was
hilarious.
attach the grappling hook to the guys and watch them bump heads.
Like one of the first missions is that you have to like drive on a truck on like the back of a truck and like clear debris and shoot enemies in the back of a truck. So you have your grappling hook that has balloons on it, and there's like roadblocks, and you just like shoot this grappling hook at it, and like a whole car will float up into the air. You drive underneath it, and then the balloons will pop, and the car will just like free fall wherever. So I had too much fun with that.
yeah,
I just sat
the whole
there
game. That's
shooting
the whole
balloons
game.
that game, I'm never gonna get anything done because all I'm gonna
Nobody
do
does.
is
The story is
fly
nonsense.
around, grappling hook, shoot
So
things.
I played a lot of Just Cause 3, and the story was the worst part. Like, I just want to go.
It-
Blow
it's
up
all about
fucking
shooting
oil
and having
tankers
fun.
and shit.
So
Yeah,
those are the
exactly.
3 new games that I play, and I feel like this is refreshing for me because I haven't played any new games other than Black Ops 4 in months.
Oh yeah.
So
Gosh,
with
4.
dude, Black Ops 4 is
forget-
the best
forget
one
that
out of
there's
the
a Black
franchise
Ops 4.
with minus the campaign. You know, I'm not talking about Black Ops 2. Black Ops 2 is the king of Call of Duty games, but Black Ops 4 multiplayer is probably one of the best. It's like all 3 Black Ops rolled into one game. All their styles, all their play are in one game, and then they have the big battle royale mode, which is what I play. Anyway, Vito, what are you playing right now? Final Fantasy?
Yeah.
Final Fantasy. Wait, Vito and I have a new segment we want to introduce.
This is
here.
what I'm excited to
Speaking
hear
about what we've been playing, we played a game of the non-digital variety last night.
Yeah.
A board game. This is the new board game of the week segment.
There we
So we played this board game called Dinosaur Island, which is not Jurassic Park, but for all intents and purposes, it's Jurassic Park. You're in charge of building your own dinosaur theme park on an island. I got too excited and built T-Rexes and Velociraptors, but then they ate all my people. So Vito over there is just building Stegosauruses. He has the world's safest theme park, making all the fucking money.
All the vegan dinosaurs.
No, dude, I had fucking Spinosauruses for days.
Well, you just had the security. Didn't you get the fucking Robert Muldoon, the dinosaur hunter? Like my people ain't getting eaten.
The only thing I did for security was I paid for the first 4 security, and then also in the first turn bought the like upgrade that lets me do security for 1
Oh,
worker.
that's right. You had the free security.
The free
upgrade.
security
So,
every
yeah.
turn. So
So your security was balling.
Hella.
Vito crushed me at this game last night. It was
yeah,
beat me
dude,
by
I was
it was
like,
insane.
Is it a 2-player game?
It was
no,
4.
we had 4 people, and it was I was
I
on
came
the
in
same-
dead last.
You're making your own amusement park like right next door.
Sick fight.
You have your own little board for your island, you know.
Yeah, I was like 50 points above everybody else.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Sick,
And then you
sick
can
fight,
so
bros.
the dinosaurs are what bring everybody to the park, right? But like you need other shit for them to do, or otherwise they're
Yeah.
just like hanging in line. So get like Ferris wheels, and I had Dia Nachos. It's all like terrible Jurassic Park puns. It was a good
funny,
time.
though.
It was a good
The
time.
clever grill.
The clever
I like
grill.
to play board
yeah,
games
yeah,
sometime.
yeah, yeah.
I miss board games. One board game that I want to play again is I'm not on the board game level that you guys are on. I've seen Joe's board game collection,
It keeps getting bigger.
and I know maybe
There's a lot of good games out there. There's a guy up in where I live, and he's heavy into table games and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And he's got what's the name of that? King of Tokyo.
Okay.
We played that, and I was thoroughly impressed on how fun that game was.
I
I was
mean,
like,
It's basically Yahtzee, but
It-
Godzilla themed.
it is kind of like
we played one that you had like settlements, not Settlers of Catan.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Because I played that one before, But I played one with you at when you lived in the same house that Claude lives
Yeah,
in now.
in the Bundy house. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't remember what it was called, but I'm sure you have 20 games that are like this. But you have like resources and shit.
Okay.
And, the beer game. It was a beer game.
Brewcrafters.
That's it. It wasn't a settlement. It was a beer
Brewcraft.
game.
The beer game. Yeah.
Yeah, my beers were all stouts. Every single one of them. It's like a chocolate.
Yeah, that's a
fucking
fun one too. We
stout.
haven't played that
That's
one in a
fun
while.
game.
I like that one.
I'd like to play that one again.
There's so many different beers you can make. I
Oh,
had the double brewing
the,
tub, so I could make 2 beers at once. It's
Well,
awesome.
what's the? It's not. It's like Cards Against Humanity, but it's the super fight. What am I thinking?
I mean, that is a game.
it's
Super
the.
Fight.
Is it super fight with the cards, and you get like a superhero, and then he has like a bunch of. You're supposed to fight another superhero, and you're supposed to debate about it.
I've never played it.
What the hell am
I
I
just
thinking
know.
of?
I mean, that might be what
I've heard
is.
of that one. I don't remember what the name is.
I
though.
can't remember the name of it, but it's sort of like Cards Against Humanity in the sense of like one person in the group picks a superhero or
Right.
like a villain or something like that, and so you get like Freddy Krueger, and then you pick like 3 cards, and you get like attacks and upgrades and shit like that. It's like Freddy Krueger with chainsaws, and he can run
It's like the elementary school
run
game
under
that
the
you used to play
ground at
with
like
your
Mach
friends.
5.
Right.
And then you get like fucking like Chucky, and Chucky is always on fire. And then there's also, I don't know, just a bunch of weird stuff
Right,
in that
right.
game.
Can we talk about Christian's hair for a second?
Yeah.
It's like a
Yeah, man,
fucking
that's-
Super
y-
Saiyan.
my paintbrush.
You're rocking like
Paintbrush hair.
the cockatoo style.
Right?
Well, so Haley straightened it yesterday so that we could braid it. So she straightened it in a
okay.
different way than we normally. So she didn't.
Is it long enough to braid?
It is, but
No, Vito hit the nail on the head when he says you look like an anime character.
yeah, I do. I look like a paintbrush, like one of those paintbrushes. It's like old and crusty,
Yeah.
but my hair is super soft. I'm not crusty.
Yeah.
All right, but my fucking hair it's soft, but I look like a fucking used paintbrush, like one that's like got the color stained into it.
It's got like mold. It's like the bottom part of the brush. Like,
Yeah,
is
yeah.
all different. It's like gray
Like
because
if
it's been
Dragon
used so
Ball
many
took
times.
place in fucking Guadalajara, man. Like,
Fucking super Mexican.
Guadalajara and
Although
it's Dragon
it's
Ball
fun
Z.
to fuck around with straight hair, though. I'll give it that. Like
Yeah.
just moving it around and shit. But it does look like
You know, I'm
stuck.
always going like this all day.
It does look like I stuck a fork into an outlet, like fucking Gib.
Yeah.
It's not a bad way to live.
But I'm probably gonna have to figure it out before I go to work tomorrow. I don't think I want to rock this hair when I'm.
You should
Why not?
gel it straight and then comb it so it's just like it's not faux hawk, but it's just like straight up and back a little
Well,
bit.
when I get my haircut, brought to you in part by Roosters, in 2 weeks, I'm gonna leave the top the exact way that it is. I'm not gonna cut anything off the top.
You're just gonna give
But
it
I'm
like
gonna
a nice.
fade. I'm gonna fade the bottom up into it, and then just straighten the top out.
Is it supposed to make you look taller?
It's supposed to make me look like a fucking wild man,
all right.
like a boar. It's gonna make me look like one of those Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle villains, the pig ones, or
What, Bebop and Rocksteady?
yeah, and Duke Nukem. Bad guys from Duke
Nukem
Nukem,
pigs?
the big
Oh my
boars.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna end up looking like when I get my
Oh my
haircut.
god. Oh my god.
Going
So-
back to board games, though, I think we had one other one we played yesterday.
Oh, the Harry Potter.
The Harry Potter
Harry
one, that
Potter
was
Hogwarts
really fun.
battle. It's like Dominion, but co-op.
Yeah, that was
We
really good.
killed those guys. Vito was Ron Weasley over there.
Yeah.
I was
it,
Harry.
It was a
I
hell
was
of a lot
Harry.
of fun, though. Like
It's
it went.
co-op, so like you
Yeah.
know we're fighting against the board state instead of each other. Like, helping
That's
each
kinda
other
cool.
out. Yeah.
Yeah,
Lightning
Oh,
bolt.
dude,
I definitely want to play that one again.
Mm.
what is the? I was told about a game where it's like haunted house or something like that, but there's like 52 different outcomes.
House on Haunted Hill, or
no
There's 52 plus
Wait, is that what it-
outcomes
I think
to
so.
the end of the game.
movie, isn't it? Yeah, I know what
Do you
you're
know?
talking
Yeah,
about.
it's so it's like if
I can
you
picture it. Betrayal at House on the Hill.
Betrayal
That's
on
it.
House on
yes,
Hill, that's what it was.
I really want to play that game because
That's a
apparently
really good
it's
game.
like
I played it once.
really kind of creepy.
I mean, it kind of depends on the scenario you get, how good it is, because there are a lot of scenarios. And yeah, it's like it's very Lovecraftian horror,
Yeah.
for sure. I mean, it's named after a Lovecraft story, Betrayal at House on the Hill.
I like to play that one.
I don't
That'd
have
be
that one, but you can get it at Mox. Cafe Mox, give them a shout out. Sponsor me, please. I went there the other day,
good times.
dropped a cool $250.
We should.
I'm not gonna buy anything. Leave with 5 fucking board games, $250 down.
Oh, what?
Yeah, they're expensive.
Board games are pricey,
Yeah.
dude.
I know they're pricey, but like only 5?
Yeah,
$250.
one of them was $80. That dinosaur game was $80.
I guess.
It was a good game.
I guess it's true.
That was a good game.
There is some good games out there, though. I remember, like, I was at summer camp, and there was like one table in like the staff room that was like strictly for board games, and they had a game,
Nerds.
and it lasted like 3 weeks. I don't know what game it was, but they had like a freaking whole entire table of like different little pegs and stuff like that. But the game itself literally lasted, I think, 3.5 weeks between like 3 dudes.
Ah.
And they would come in and they'd play like 5-hour shifts and then another 5-hour shift like 2 days
Oh,
later.
jeez.
And I was just like,
Warhammer
guys,
or
what,
something
like,
going
how do you,
on.
what is the point of this game? And they're like, well, you're supposed to do this, this. And I was like, never mind. I was just going to open a can of worms.
So I just got a notification that we had a new follower on Instagram,
Yeah.
and I just kind of like slightly diarrheaed my pants for a second. But then I realized that there's like an abundance of millions of fake profiles out there.
Who
But
did you
this
think
one-
it was?
This one just said Juju Smith-Schuster started following you. Shit myself a little bit, but then I remembered, like, before I even like thought about freaking out, I was like, it's fake.
Did you check? Was
I
it
checked.
fake?
It's fake.
Oh. That'd be exciting.
But
So-
all it says is just Juju Smith-Schuster started following you on Instagram. I'm like, oh. Then we check. But an official thing that actually did follow us is Keystone Light.
Really? We talked about this
official-
last week.
The official beer of the Beefy Boys. But
That's
I don't know if I
pretty
agree
sweet.
with that.
that's the official beer of me.
There you go.
There you go.
I have had
I will be the
since
Keystone
I've
ambassador.
opened my Instagram, I have had at least probably like 5 or 6 times, like every 2 weeks, different Seahawks pages
Oh yeah.
follow
Oh, we
my
get-
Instagram, and it's like Seahawks fan 420.
Oh my God,
whatever.
it's out of
Seahawks fan for
control.
life.
But we
fans
follow-
for Seahawks, and
Yeah.
I don't know what happens or
These
like
like
what's going on with them.
unofficial, official or whatever. Like how many different like,
but, like-
New York Giants fans, official, but official is misspelled. Like Jesus Christ.
No,
get outta
there's been so many, but I look at it, I'm like, yeah, like do they unfollow me and then refollow me? Because if they all were following me, I'd have probably like 50 fucking thousand followers.
Dude,
They probably
we-
are. They
But I
probably want
don't
to
have,
follow
like,
back. Well, what's your
300.
Instagram name?
Periwinkle Blue Slab.
Oh well, that's not even. That doesn't even sound like.
something remotely close, but he does.
You're not like
follow,
Russell
the
Wilson,
Seahawks.
official 12 or something. And like,
Oh yeah, no,
Burp.
see.
But yeah, so it's.
I follow more car pages than like sports pages.
But we follow every NFL team. And
We do?
every NHL team and every MLB team and every
Well, that's why we're getting blown
every
up with all
soccer
these
team.
fucking.
and all that shit.
What about
We
the
follow
NBA?
every-
We don't follow the NBA teams.
I do.
Okay.
And we do every NBA team. So we get fan clubs from every single team of every single sport. And it just, one day we'll have 300 followers, and then you'll go back on there the next day and it's like 120. You're like,
Yeah.
Hey,
of
speaking
course.
speaking of the NBA, what do you guys think of Raptors?
Toronto.
That's crazy.
I want
You
them
think
to
so?
win. I want them to
Kawhi
win.
so
I
fucking
it's
over.
it's 3-1, so
I know.
one more game in
and,
Toronto.
and this is saying that Golden State really could come back and win.
Oh no,
win
like
their series.
I don't
too
think
injured.
But they're too injured,
Yeah.
and I'll give them that. They're injured, but they lose Kevin Durant, and they can't beat a good team.
Well, that's-
And that
They
shows-
won the.
That really does show like the value of who Kevin Durant really is.
I mean, he's the best player in the NBA.
Yeah, he's really really good in the sense that
He's
also
insanely good.
like he's really really skinny. and
Kawhi
people
Leonard,
kinda
another guy
underestimate
who's
him,
one of the
but
best players in the league. LeBron James, another one of the best players. I just wish LeBron James was in the playoffs. I'd watch it.
He's hurt. He's too old.
Dude,
You know, LeBron.
you-
You know, LeBron and I have the same birthday.
oh, that's cute.
Me, LeBron, and Tiger Woods. Where's my $100 million Nike contract, guys?
Tiger Woods too, huh?
Yep.
That's always fun.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Yep, yep.
All right.
that's crazy.
We're at
So I
an
got-
hour.
What's that?
We're at like an hour.
Ooh. Well, that was a quick hour. That was fun. See, Lewis, it's not so bad
Yeah.
once you start getting used to it.
It's pretty much just yapping.
It's just
about
yapping
nonsense,
away.
man. Officially,
And,
we have themes, but come on.
You know, we have the best.
Do a half an hour nonsense at the
We've
start
got
of
the
every
fucking
show.
best fans, you know, because they listen to us bullshit and talk. That's why I fucking love them so much. But I've got some questions for you. Or should we cover the other questions in maybe a different episode? What do you guys think?
I mean, it's like noon. What's your story, Vito?
I don't really care.
All right. Well, then let's wrap and do another one.
All right, well, we'll ask Lewis the next questions on next week's episode. So make sure you tune in to hear his perfect album, and make sure you tune in to find out his favorite sports moment of all time. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to the Beefy Boys Bug Club. I am Christian, and I am always joined here by my great pals, Joe
Hey.
and Vito
What's up?
and Lewis.
It's been real.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Joe, we don't have to plug them up because you can find us on our website, on our Facebook,
BeavyBoys.com.
on our Twitter, on our Instagram,
Spotify,
Spotify,
That's our
iTunes.
ad music.
Definitely. We'll have a lot
Find
more
us.
entertainment from all those than most other pages on the internet.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We love you.